So from the offset we decided to make the video creative and original. That was our main focus, so that's why we chose the concept-based video rather than a narrative. But we did still want to keep the video relatable, so we decided to take a really unoriginal and cliched idea of a girl trying to start a new life in a time of need, and we wanted to turn this into something worth watching, something original.
Since it's concept-based video, we have subverted a lot of codes and conventions. For instance, the band performance scenes in our video are very minimal. We did this because we wanted to kind of, make you see the story more, because it's not so much boring, but you can't play about a lot with band performance scenes, so that's why we decided to keep it to a bare minimum. However, we still did use band performance scenes, which is kind of using and developing but also subverting at the same time. We are developing the band performance elements of it by subverting them, by making it a lot less important role in our video. But also we've also conformed to a lot of codes and conventions, like for instance the story. We have used a basic story of a girl in a time of trouble and time of need, trying to get over. That's a basic story. So we wanted to keep that basic plot, however develop it and make it more original.
So inspiration for this includes the character of Ophelia from Hamlet, the film American Beauty, the Hurt video by Johnny Cash, and also Ellie Goulding's music video for Your Song.
Ellie Goulding's Your Song video is one of our biggest inspirations for our own video. We took a lot of different elements from that, especially some of the shots she does are like really antique, which we used a lot for our own video. Especially the final cut is of Anna learning in and out of focus, which we've done, obviously took from that video. Another is the costume element. Ellie's video is set in autumn-winter, so she's wearing a thick coat and a woolly hat, which Anna wears in our own video when she's on the beach and in some of the church shots. And then the last element we took is Ellie uses some stills in between some of the longer takes, which we done in our own video, and she uses a church as a location, which is obviously our main location in our own video.
A key inspiration for our music video was Mark Romanek's Hurt, which is the Johnny Cash music video, and I felt it was such an important inspiration for our video, because we've used the religious iconography and symbolism throughout the video, and we've taken that, we've kind of used it ourselves. Like for instance, the opening shot of the Hurt video is one of the statue of Jesus. And then throughout the video there are more and more shots of Jesus leading up to his actual crucifixion towards the end of the video. And then we've taken that, and then from that we got the idea of the shots of Jesus and Mary in the church, and we did this deliberately to kind of show our inspiration from the Johnny Cash video, and that's how we've used it. Looking back on the final product of our music video, I honestly think it will not be the same without using the inspiration from the Hurt video, because without that religious iconography and symbolism used in our video, which was inspired by the Hurt video, we would not have the same kind of feel to it. It would not have the same kind of dark, more ambient themes relevant in it, and it just won't look the same. Like from that we got the inspiration to use the church. We got the inspiration to use the close-ups of Jesus and of Mary inside the church, and from that we got the whole idea of playing around with the religious symbolism, like with the rosary beads at the end, which throws them away in the church and just throw them away again in the back. And yeah, the shots even in the church itself was entirely inspired by the Johnny Cash video, and I can honestly say our video would not be the same without the inspiration we got from Mark Romanek's Hurt.
One of our main inspirations for our bath idea was the character of Ophelia from Hamlet. The bath represents the girl's descent into insanity, and we thought that this would be a good link to our video. We decided to do some research into the character to see if it matched our idea well, and we found out that a character in the play is driven mad by love and loss and rejection, which is similar to the girl in our video. Although death isn't part of our video, we thought that the idea portrayed her feelings of unhappiness well, and this is also why we used petals and the floaty dress, which is similar to Ophelia in Hamlet.
Another one of our inspirations for the bath was the 1999 film American Beauty by Sam Mendes, because we had this idea of a bath which would kind of symbolise, starting anew, getting rid of all of our old sins and ways and stuff. I was thinking it'd be great to link it to American Beauty as well, because it's a personal favourite of mine. There's loads of scenes of Mina Sabari in a bath with the rose petals in them. So, you know, we were thinking it'd be great, you know, another thing to link it back to, another stimulus of having Anna in the bath with like different coloured rose petals, like not just red, because we had red, it would look like we've just ripping off American Beauty, not trying to be original, but like we had the idea of using petals, but then we came across kind of getting like a black and gold kind of petals instead of like the black ones, which would just be a carbon copy of American Beauty.
For our opening shot of our video, we decided to use a beach to show the peak reality that the girl was facing in the video. And we all agreed that we'd film on when it was sunrise, so it would have like that effect that we wanted to achieve. We checked the sunrise times to make sure the sun would be at perfect height for when we were filming. However, after turning up at the beach early in the morning, the sun was actually blocked by the clouds, and the sunlight was totally blocked out, which made the shot not as good as we wanted it to be, and it made it look slightly more gloomy than we'd hoped. Although this was a mild setback when it came to editing, we found that it was slightly dark and grainy, but the lighting fitted in okay with the atmosphere of the video in the end, so it actually worked out okay. For the rough cut, we were pleased with how the shots turned out, and we agreed not to refilm the fight because we were happy enough with the way it looked. If we were to do the video again, we probably would reshoot at the beach, but apart from that, we thought that it worked out well, despite the setbacks that we had when filming the rough cut.
We got the idea of shooting in a church from Mark Romanek's Hurt, and without that video we would not have, you know, came with the idea of using the church. And like I mentioned earlier, it would not have been the same. Like, our video is crucial, it revolves around the foundations that are created inside the church. Like, all the themes and the symbolism shown in the church are a huge part of our video, and without it, it would just not be the same. We originally had ideas to use inside of a confessional. However, we thought, you know, we weren't able to actually get one out, so we kind of played around inside the church to kind of replace it, which is shown in the video now. Instead of in the confessional, which we originally planned to, it's her sitting in the aisle, sitting on one of the chairs, you know, giving up her head and her hands. So we went down for the first cut without the redheads, and we shot it, and it looked nice, and I was pleased with the footage we got from it. However, I felt it could have been so much more. And from the audience feedback, both from the teachers and from peers, they said it was too dark in places, it could be better, you know, reshoot this and that and this. And I was thinking, I completely agree, and I was going to do so anyway. So we went back for the second cut, for the final cut, with redheads. So yeah, we were trying to figure out with just one redhead to try and light up the entire shot how I wanted, and it took a lot longer because some shots were overexposed and some of the shots were too dark, you could hardly see a thing. I went into school the next day, started editing it, and straight away I could tell that the footage was infinitely better from the rough cut. We used the church to show the themes, and I think it came across really successfully. I don't feel that if we had more time, I don't think we would do anything different, because I think we portrayed and conveyed everything we wanted to.
The bath scene was one of the most important elements of our video. We took inspiration from the story of Ophelia and decided that the girl's story should end on a powerful scene. Our first idea was to hire a bath and take it to a field where the scene could be carried out. We thought these shots would be extremely poignant in the video. However, actually finding a bath proved very difficult. Most of the baths we wanted to use were old Victorian ones, which we had no way of moving to a field. Due to time, we ended up using one of Anna's neighbours' houses, as they had a perfect bathroom. We were looking for a freestanding bath that had an antique feel with it, which we found in Mina and Alan's house. In the first take of our bath shot, we worked with the lighting available, which resulted in some of the shots being very dark. In our feedback, many people said some of the shots were too dark, and it resulted in the video not being the highest quality. There's a massive difference to the reshot scenes, as the light is a lot brighter and gives us the grain feel we were looking for.
In our rough cut, we didn't use redheads. We relied completely on natural light, like from the light bulbs in the sun when we were shooting outside. And this was really ineffective, and the final outcome looked really unprofessional. And you know, our key feedback from our rough cut was it was too dark throughout the entire video. So we went about reshooting the entire video, except from the beach scenes. We kept the beach scenes the same from the rough cut to the final cut. So in the reshoots of the bath and the church scene and the performance scene, we used redheads in order to get the more professional looking lighting, and to make it look a lot more professional than it did without the redheads. We knew straight away when we were doing the redheads that we would make our video look a lot more professional, but there was 3 redheads in the school, but only 2 of them worked at the particular time we were trying to shoot our scenes, so we couldn't cancel out the shadows, which was at first I was a bit like weary about it, a bit query, but then when we were actually shooting it and I look back on the footage, I was thinking this looks really good because it's like kind of creepy, kind of eerie kind of shadows throughout, which gave the video like an extra kind of something more original than a lot of other videos. Like we decided to play with shadows in order to create kind of a darker concept and show the different themes and attitudes conveyed in our music video. So yeah, so we used redheads in order to get them professional looking lighting, because in the rough cut we felt we weren't very happy with it at all, and we felt that it was holding us back from actually making our video a lot more creative and original by actually using these proper studio lights rather than just relying on natural light. So this is where we recorded the band scene in our music video at the YMCA in North Shields. We can't get into the actual recording booth because there's a band in there recording at the minute, but this is the control room. So yeah, we decided to use a recording studio for our piece rather than performing live, because we thought it would give a nice intimate feeling towards it, which we really wanted to go for in the music video, to kind of make it a bit more personal and to kind of relate to the character of the girl to another level, rather than performing live, because we thought that wouldn't really give across the same kind of feel of the video than if it was recorded in a recording studio. We got inspiration for the studio from Ellie Goulding's Your Song, which has played a huge part in inspiration to our piece, because in the video you can see recording the track, with the mic and the cans and everything. I felt, we should use it because it'll be a great way of kind of like bringing our music video to a whole nother level and making the audience relate to the story, the song, and to the character of the girl. We decided to use the band performance to keep it on a minimal level, because to kind of subvert the cozy conventions, because we felt that a lot of music videos are predominantly band performances, so we felt that it would be kind of like a nice little subverting if we actually used it more concept and more story, well, not story but more kind of like visuals telling the concept, rather than loads of band performances, because we wanted to be a bit more original in our approach to our video. So that's why the band performances are very minimal and very kind of quick, and don't play a huge part in our music video. Our video relates more to Todorov's theory of equilibrium, disturbance, equilibrium, rather than Levi Strauss's of binary opposites. Because in our video it starts off kind of more calm, even though it is still kind of hectic. All those hectic and frustration is still kind of subtle in the beginning during the beat shots. But as the video progresses, and with the music, as the music gets more hectic and more loud and fierce, as does the video with like the editing as well. And that kind of shows Todorov's theory. Then towards the end of the video, when it calms down again with the organ, for the last 10 seconds of the video, like it's still building up, and then the whole video reverses in the last in 10 seconds. I'm at the end, and then it goes to the organ playing out of the natural fade out of Anna in the bath, and that kind of relates strongly to Todorov's theory, which is equilibrium, disturbance, equilibrium, because the disturbance is caused both by the equilibrium at the beginning, and then the equilibrium at the end is resolved after all the disturbance. So our video does relate to Todorov's theory, unlike Levi Strauss's. However, I respect Levi Strauss's theory, and I would love to play about with it in our video, and we did try and play about with it, trying to get binary opposites in there, but it was unnecessary to the story we were trying to portray in our music video.
Okay, so this is our digipack. As you can see, we've used similar colours to what we used in the video. The main colours here are gold, black, yellow and white. Kept with the gold and black because we used gold and black petals in the bath, which we thought was would be a good idea to carry on through the digipack and through the poster. We've also kept with quite the dark tone that we had in the video by using quite serious images of the main girl. The font was kind of inspired by Coldplay's Viva La Vida album. It's a similar font, but we took quite a lot of inspiration from their album. We used the same layout for the 4 images, so we changed that around a little bit and put reviews in the middle. The image of the cross, I think, is quite important because it's quite significant throughout the whole theme of the video and through the digipack. It just shows the religious symbolism that was used in the video. and we've also added special thanks to people that helped out in the video, so we added that on as well. So yeah, that's the digipack. For the disc, we just kept with quite a simple image. We wanted the whole theme to be quite simplistic, so we just went for a plain black disc, with the gold and white writing for that. And we also called the album Crosses because we thought it matched well to the religious symbolism. And this is the poster. We decided to go with a landscape layout rather than portrait because we thought it was a little bit different. We didn't see many ones that we looked at landscape, so we thought it might be quite a nice new idea. We kept the same font because we wanted it to be consistent throughout, and we thought it was a really good font, especially for the main title, the CAS. We'll put reviews up here: Mojo, Spin, and Love. Use the colours, the same colours that we used on the digipack, which was yellow and gold, just to keep with the theme. Again, we've used quite a serious image, just to sort of reflect the video. And these are actually all images that we took while we were filming, so we sort of thought ahead and thought that when we were filming that would be a good opportunity to take photos for the future.
After our rough cut, we got feedback both from the teachers and from our audience and like our peers and stuff, and everybody said pretty much the same thing, that it was a really good video, it had so much potential, but the storyline was, they couldn't really understand it. We wanted people to kind of make up their own minds about what was going on. However, we knew that we had to have some form of story to it, even though we wanted to keep it really ambiguous as well. So from that, they said make the storyline more clear. So we went away and did that. And also the other crucial thing they said was the lighting was too dark in the rough cut. And here is what some of our audiences thought about our video and digipack.
Yeah, I did like it. I thought that the theme was quite good and how you added the religion in, which isn't the typical storyline. So it's good.
I liked the rough cut actually. I thought it was very professional for a rough cut. The one thing that I liked the lighting on it. I thought it was very well lit and all the shots were in focus and like it was a really nice idea. Like you had some really strong images.
I thought it was good as a rough cut, like it was really well done. I can't really think of anything but there was improvements. But really for first rough cut you did incredibly well on it. It was really well done.
Maybe the storyline could have been a bit more clear, but apart from that it was good.
The only thing I didn't like as much in it was that I didn't understand the theme and to reshoot a band performance because the band performance didn't look like a band performance. It didn't just look dead informal, like it was just normal everyday clothes, so I didn't really like it as much.
Possibly some of the lighting that you did, it was a little dark. And then one you actually did was in a studio. That was one thing which I was really surprised at because I thought it really fitted in really well with your video. Like a performance plus a little bit extra, and it worked really well with the video.
Yeah, I think it added the suicide note which made the narrative a lot clearer, which improved it a lot.
I really liked the final cut. I thought I understood the concept more and like the symbolism that you were going for with the back. I really liked just like the way the band performance was reshot with in the studio. It wasn't like the typical performance, it was like a studio. I also liked the lighting again. The lighting was really well to get the same lighting as you did for previous shots that you used on the rough cut.
Yeah, massively different. And you could see what all the good things that you kept from your rough cut were then kept in your final cut, plus all the improvements were added in, and it made a massive difference.
They're really good. They link to the genre quite a lot, and like the Florence and the Machine genre. So yeah, I really like them.
I really loved the advert. It was really nice. I loved the way like the text on it. It really seemed like an advert in the reviews, and I did like the lighting on the shot, and I liked like Anna's face on the it really fit, and it was still the same as you could tell it was still the same from the music video running through. Also for the digipack,
I wasn't too keen on the front cover with the name over it. I thought, I'm not, that's just personal opinion, but the back and everything else I loved. I thought it was great. I loved all the colours. I loved just everything else about it.
I thought it was really good. To be honest, I couldn't really think of many improvements.
We took all of our audience feedback heavily on board and we considered everything, and then from that we decided to reshoot the entire video except the beach scene, because we felt that was, fine in itself. All we did for the final cut was we re-edited it, trimmed it to make it look more professional. As you can see, we changed a lot with the church, lighting wise. That was the only thing we really changed. We kept the shots more or less the same throughout. However, we just refilmed it, reshot it using the lights, and it does look a lot better since we used the redheads. The bath as well, kind of similar to the church. We reshot the bath more or less shot by shot, but we used redheads this time, and as you can see, it just looks so much better. Our band forms were shot really quickly for our rough cut because we shot it on the deadline day, and we took redheads along for the final cut, and I can safely say it is so much better. So using our feedback, we were able to reshoot our video and make it completely different and make it a lot more professional looking than it was for the rough cut. And without our feedback that we got, we would not be able to do so. We edited the final cut and the rough cut both on Adobe Premiere Pro, and I feel that this was a good software to use. However, it on the school system was very temperamental, and it especially didn't like my account, and for some reason it kept on closing and it kept on shutting itself down, and thankfully I was able to recover the work each time, mostly, but in the end I had to log on to a media edit account and able to actually edit it efficiently and properly. Nonetheless, Premiere Pro is a great software to use because it enabled us to use the reverse effect, which a lot of softwares wouldn't have allowed us to have done so easily.
Firstly, open the clip you want to reverse. Then open a new sequence and select the right format. For us this was widescreen 48kHz. You should now have two sequences. Drag sequence 1, located in the file bin, and drag it to sequence 2 timeline. Right click, scroll up to speed and duration, and select the amount you want to increase or decrease the speed. For us, the speed was 2209.6, which lasts for exactly 10 seconds. Make sure you tick the reverse speed button. Then create a new sequence exactly the same as before. You should now have 3 sequences. Drag sequence 1 into sequence 3, then drag sequence 2 and place it at the end of the clip. And then the results will be as follows. We created this effect on Adobe Premiere Pro, which is a good software to use for this effect, as less proficient software would have been more difficult to use. However, Premiere Pro was being temperamental on our school system, and it did cause some setbacks due to unexpectedly closing, and sometimes taking a while for it to run efficiently on our servers. But it was a good program to use nonetheless.
So yeah, that was a great software to use, and for the evaluation, I created the how to reverse on Premiere Pro as well. However, the rest of it I edited at home on my laptop, and I used Pinnacle 14, which is a branch off of Avid. It's not as good as editing software as Premiere Pro, but it allowed me to edit it at home, which gave it a lot more time for us to do in lessons for actually planning our evaluation. And we also used Photoshop to create our digipack. We used Photoshop 4.0. Which is a good version of Photoshop. However, it's not the most recent one. It's kind of a bit more outdated one, but still does get the job done, and it gets the job done really well. The colour correction, the hue saturation alteration on the colour correction, we use that extensively in both our advert and digipack.
Okay, so looking back, I think that there was a couple of shots that could have been improved if we had more time. Firstly, the shot when the girl goes into the bath for the first time. I think that could have been a little bit more dramatic in terms of lighting and also length. It could have been a little bit brighter and it could have lasted slightly longer, but it was really a minor fault, and we probably would have changed that a little bit if we had a bit more time. The main piece of feedback that we got from our rough cut was that the video was quite unclear and hard to follow, so we focused a lot on making that clearer for the final cut. Firstly, we reshot quite a few of our scenes, such as the bath and the church, to improve the lighting. By doing this, we used redheads, which changed the lighting dramatically and made it look a lot more professional. We made some of the shots longer to make them easier to understand and hopefully make the concept clearer. After finishing the final cut, the feedback told us that this was successful and that the video was a lot easier to follow. However, the main focus wasn't really for the video to be fully understood, but it was kind of, our idea was that it wanted it to be left to the audience's imagination in terms of what happened to the girl in the end in the bath when she went under the water and things like that. We wanted them to sort of work out for themselves and for it to be left unsaid.